Hi everyone, thank you so much for tuning into my tarot channel. My name is Paulina and I have a tarot reading for you today. I actually have some notes because I just felt like taking notes on some ideas I was thinking about today that I felt like I wouldn't remember because they were sort of detail oriented. So I'll just get those to have them on hand, even though I should have done that before. And they're all set. Okay, so just tuning into the energy. I know the sun is in Gemini. It sounds pretty basic, but it is a time of communication, verbalizing things, writing, thinking, interchange, information, games, short trips, bureaucracy, all these things, siblings, people who are in close, intimate contact with us on a day-to-day basis, healing, and also just dualism, the duality of life and death, the duality of personality. So those things may be happening and may be relevant. We've got the Ace of Wands. Is there somebody that is not listening to what you have to say? Or maybe you just feel like that because the 5 can be linked to communication and Mercury. And also just conflict, change, even sales, which sounds a little different, but it is, the 5 can be sales. Even though this is a greater meaning of this card is, you know, the defeat after a battle. So I don't know if there was something you were being sold, something you were trying to sell that you feel like you failed at. Also, this is Ace of Wands. There's something in your energy that is like excited, and there's some sort of new idea that's going to be, or new energy, new like undertaking, a new sense of will or desire to do something, you know, that maybe you haven't tried before, some sort of inventiveness here. And it's not an idea as in the swords where it's a mental thing. It's sort of more of a guttural solar plexus idea, like something that's being led by the body, and some sort of like initiation or some sort of like opportunity too is what the Ace of Wands can be. So, and also just your will, your strength or desire to do something. There's something that you suddenly are inspired to do, and you may, I'm just thinking of Scarlett O'Hara in the oh my god, Gone with the Wind. I've seen the movie a million times, and when she says, "God is my witness, I'll never go hungry again," you know, she's like eating raw turnips after the war, and she's like, and she does never go hungry again as far as we know. So I don't know if that's a theme, like where you're like fed up with some sort of situation, you're like, I don't care what I have to do, I'm like never going to be in this situation again. And that could be poverty, like money, and in this case she had no food. Or it could be like just a situation where you're like, I'm never, you know, I could never let myself go hungry spiritually again, could be the meaning, you know. Maybe you've been starved of some vital resource. We got heartbreak, 3 of Swords reversed, and 7 of Pentacles reversed is about feeling like you aren't maybe doing the skill or trade that you want to do, or maybe like you're not finding work with that trade, or you're feeling like you don't know what the hell you're doing kind of with what you're doing. And this is about something being offered but you're not wanting to take it. You know, you're focused on, you're sort of like, this is sort of about, you know, well, I just would rather have no soup if it's gonna be green pea soup. I don't know where that came from. Yeah, I don't know, maybe the person watching needs legumes. Just like a good source of protein for vegans. A lot of things are substituted with pea protein. I I feel like maybe there's something that you've been substituting in terms of your needs or wants here. And you've been like, this is good enough. But now you're getting sort of mad in your situation and you're like, it's not good enough. This could also be with the heartbreak, like somebody that you care about and you're sort of coming out of it since it's reversed, but somebody that you care about who has hurt you. It's making you feel insecure, like you don't know what you're going to do with your life somehow. Because maybe I'm just hearing the song, build my life around you. I've been afraid of changes, 'cause I built my life around you. Time makes you bolder, children get older, I'm getting older too. Sorry, Fleetwood Mac, Landslide. So I don't know if this person, maybe there's a person that you've grown apart from because, maybe a reason you've grown apart and broken each other's hearts, or someone's heart broken, is because they aren't doing what they want to do. That could be a part of it too, that they're frustrated with sorry, I'm just pulling like dog hair out of my headscarf. They're not doing like what they want to do in terms of career, and that's frustrating for them. And it's leaving them feeling like apathetic, and you're sort of mirroring that energy. I feel like there's another person. This keeps coming up in my readings, that there's two people. I don't know if this is like a third party situation, or maybe just someone that you're thinking of that you're not involved with, but there's a strong energetic tie to two different people. Sorry, I got cut off. And then the second energy, the second person. So the first energy of the first person is like that. It's sort of like people are not working maybe in the careers they want, and it's like really damaging to both people. Like maybe one person, maybe this other person is like very money obsessed in a way where like they don't feel good about themselves if they're not making money. So maybe they're like abstaining from the relationship, and it's breaking your heart because you don't really care about that kind of thing, is what I'm hearing. And the second person, ooh, sorry, I got more cards for the second person. So I feel like that means there's more intensity with this second person, and there's maybe more conflict, but more love, but more intensity, but more fear. I don't know where those words came from. This was a situation where you left, you felt like you had to disappear. I'm hearing beam me up, Scotty. Maybe you just like were like, I need to get out of this old life, and that person had to do with that. Also, there was an element of deception here that you tuned into, and I don't know, it could be that this person had some feelings for you that they wouldn't really let anyone see. I did hear this really great quote today, and I wrote it down. Anne Sexton quote, who's a great poet I love. As it's been said, love in a cough cannot be concealed, even a small cough, even a small love. So there may be a situation with this second person where you had like a crush on them, and it maybe made them uncomfortable because they had feelings too. And there's also some sort of like death that had to happen here so that there could be rebirth. So that, I'm thinking specifically of the lizard stage in Scorpion cycles. So the lizard is like after the snake. So it's not yet the scorpion. So I don't know if you hadn't really had a tail before this situation, because this is a Scorpion card is why I'm talking about these transformations. And Scorpio is a card of transformation. Maybe Scorpio is in both the charts of the people. Also, Sagittarius, and just another Scorpio card, sorry. So maybe there was betrayal here too. And I was gonna say maybe both people hadn't learned to use their Scorpio stingers yet, and they did in the process of this, because they're both hurt and they both opened up and sort of became vulnerable. And then this is the Queen of Wands. This energy is overpowering death on both sides. This is death as regeneration. This is annihilation. I relate this more actually to Pisces also, because Pisces is an ultimate ending. And this 10 is a cycle that's ending too. So there's a cycle that ended with this second person, that ended things in your life, not just with this person, but in general. Like, they helped you bring an ending, I'm hearing. And yeah, I think they tuned into your feelings and you tuned into theirs, and it was uncomfortable. And the first person I feel that you've known longer, and it's more of a long-term relationship where it's like you want them to want you, but I want to get a little more in that first relationship. You want them to want you, but they maybe have other interests at this time. So it's a situation where you're like trying to get them to be involved or interested. And you know, they're also mirroring your energy. So some part of you is not as involved or interested as you were in the past because you're focused maybe on this other person or this newer experience or this change that you want to bring, or maybe you're focused on sort of a sensual urge that you feel with someone else, or just in general, maybe you're having like a sexual awakening, or like your kundalini is like opening. So that's the first relationship that you have something to express, and this person isn't really allowing you to express it with them, even though you would like to. But then there's this other person that it's like you feel like you're holding on to what you have because you're afraid that nothing will be given if you let go. There's a really funny cartoon, or it's not funny, but it's just like cute. It's a cartoon of this like girl, she has her teddy bear and she says, I don't want to give it up, and it's like Jesus she's handing it to, and he's like, if you let go, I'll give you something better. And it's just like kind of stupid, but it's like, I don't know, it's kind of true. I mean, it doesn't have to be Jesus. It could be like Muhammad, like, or Buddha. It's like, yeah, if you let go of this first situation, or even of this second situation, you know, who's to say that they will be able to satisfy you? But there is a second energy I'm hearing here. If you let go of something, you might find something new fill its place. And then we got the Empress. There's like big Empress energy here with you, maybe in your life, and maybe like you're coming into abundance and creativity, and even children could be on the horizon, or even just creating new experiences. And there's a lot of like intuition about like how to grow things that you're using at this time, that maybe from like past lives. I don't know if you know where that came from. Your guides are telling me that there's like a lot of energy watching you, and you know, you may be someone who is going to have a career in the public in some way, and you're taking ownership of that. And I'm just specifically hearing your face. You may have like a very unique face, and you're like owning that, and owning who you are, owning what you look like. And that may have been difficult in the past for you to own that and to put yourself out there. You know, there may have been self-esteem issues. Community, creativity, I'm just hearing jackpot a lot in my readings. Like, there is some sort of financial abundance here with the Empress card and the Star card that we just got. And also with the Page of Swords that we got, you know, you may just have to watch for it. The more you can imagine what you want, the more you're creating it. Just, you know, it's not delusional. You may have to start with smaller chomps. You can't take, you know, don't let your eyes be bigger than your stomach in terms of what you're creating. Thinking about Wayne Dyer, and he put $100,000 check on his ceiling and woke up to it every morning. And then one day he got offered a speaking gig for $100,000. So I don't know. That's the kind of manifestation I think you're gonna be interacting with, where it's more like, I kind of want this to happen, and it's like, who's to say it can't? And then it just rolls into your experience, and it has to do with addressing a lot of these old blocks of like, can't do that, can't have that, don't deserve that, and just also being patient that these things may take time, and being open that they may change at the turn of a dime, this flip of a dime I'm hearing. I wrote down A Course in Miracles, There Is No Death, because I was looking at the reading for today. I get emails for that. If you don't know, A Course in Miracles is, it's a book dictated, or it's channeled by a woman and her work friend, and it's about difficult relationships that are like meaningful and whatever. It is about Jesus Christ, but it's non-denominational, so anyone can get involved. But there is no death is an idea. So it's like just this end of duality, that there's unity. Like it said in the reading that like in death there is God, so it's the same as life. So whatever death you're experiencing in this situation, maybe it's a breakup, maybe it's a move, maybe it's, I don't know, some change, you have to realize that it's bringing something that you've wanted. And I know that may be like counterintuitive. I also wrote down Scarface, which is a great movie, and I just wrote down The American Dream. I feel that like there's some, if you see Scarface, it's kind of like everything goes wrong, but you know, he like becomes this like drug lord who came from Cuba just as a poor immigrant, and it's kind of like, and it's turning the American dream on its head. But I don't know, I feel like you're not going to become a drug lord, but I was thinking of in the end of that movie where he is given the option to like make good with the people who are after him by killing some other people, and he just says, I'm not going to do it, I can't do it. So then he like gives up his own life for these people, which may not be the first scene that you think of with Scarface, but like it's a great movie. Yeah, I don't know, there's something here like that, some energy where maybe there was somebody in your life that like hurt you, okay, there was somebody with the Three of Swords that we got before that, like, you know, you were trying to make good with. This could be family or just any person, relationships, even work, friends. There's someone you were trying to like be like, okay, what do I have to do to get in good with you guys again? And then they were like, okay, kill for us, but not literally, but like metaphorically in some way. Or their kill for us could have just been like, deny your values, like live with abuse, like be treated this way. And you were like, no, I won't kill for you. Even if it was, you know, I don't think anyone was asking you to really kill someone, just to be clear. It's metaphorical. But so you were just like, I'm not going to deny my own needs and values. And there could have been something that they wanted you to do that was like sketch. I don't know. But you said no. And as a result of that, these people may have made something happen that was damaging. And now it's affecting like other relationships. I also wrote down Joan Didion, The Year of Magical Thinking, which is a great book. It's really just her talking about sort of thinking that her husband was going to come back or something after he died, or just like not being able to accept that he died. And she's just kind of a conversational writer. It's sort of like you're talking to someone, and I don't know, maybe there's something like that where you did spend time, you know, imagining that other people were not who they are, and you tried to give them the benefit of the doubt, but then at a certain point you had to protect yourself, because that's magical thinking. Okay, I also wrote down Merrily We Roll Along, which is a Sondheim play, and it's like, walking through the countryside, merrily we roll along, singing our tune. I think I got the lyrics wrong, but it's about this group of friends that goes back and forth through time in the play, and we see like different phases of their lives and the relationships that come and go. And I just was thinking of that play. There may be something here with one or both of these situations that you're dealing with here, where like time has passed and someone that you knew a certain way is different, and maybe the first person has changed, and also the second person has changed. Like one person could be, you know what, like pulling away is what I'm getting, and then the other person could be coming towards you, or observing the dynamic and seeing how you are. I heard this really cute song. It was like on a folk sing-along for kids, but I think it's an adult song. It was like, I got peace like a river, I got peace like a river, something like that. I could be getting the melody wrong, but it was like, I got peace like a river, peace. I got peace like a river, I got peace like a river, peace like a river, I got peace. Yeah, I just feel like there's, in terms of going through, rolling along, merrily we roll along, and that snippet there, I got peace like a river. It's like, just try to let yourself flow a little bit more through these seasons, and making new goals and new plans, and just believing that you can do it. You know, try to think of other times where, try to find peace thinking of other times where things didn't turn out as bad as you thought. And you may be in a time right now where you're having to just find peace, and there may be like a lot of thoughts that you have to just detach from instead of fully engaging in. I was reading about Vedic astrology today, and it was just interesting. It made me see myself in a different way, and that may be something for you. Vedic astrology, it's the astrology from India. I don't know, you know, that does talk about past lives a lot, which I already mentioned in the reading. And in fact, in India, you know, each village has an astrologer that decides who will marry who, usually in arranged marriages. And you know, they're very intuitive. They'll like look at someone's face and be like, oh, there's a lot of Jupiter in their face, or, you know, it's just like very incredibly intuitive, and it's very involved, and there's charts obviously, but I just feel like there's something like that here with a new person, maybe this second person that's entering your life, that like you're afraid of the sort of faded quality. But I feel that you felt that way with your first person too. You felt like there was a lot of karma and fate and meant to be and love, but it may be meant to be that one relationship changes and one relationship becomes friendship or something else, and another becomes, or the old person is changed for the better, and the new person is not looking as like they're interested. So I don't know, mix and match that as you want, but I'll just get a little more info here about each person. Oh, I also wrote down Archangel Metatron's self-mastery, and it said, it was really interesting. It said if you start thinking about Metatron's cube, which I just out of nowhere started thinking about, that means that his energy is near, and I loved that. And it also said the violet flame and white light, and so the cube is a blueprint of the universe. It has 13 circles, and he's supposed to help us heighten our energy, or like raise our energy above like dark stuff. So I don't know, just like some of those things, like maybe you have some crystal that you hold that helps you feel calm. I got peace like a river, I got peace like a river. Somebody from the South watching? Maybe somebody who likes country music, or even just somebody who lives in the country, even not in the South. You know, I'm just getting that kind of vibe, like we're out there with the chickens and the horses and the cows, and I got peace like a river. Somebody here is like an abuse victim. Somebody watching had to find peace maybe through God, or through like worship, or like church, or even just self-knowledge. And the peace like a river relates to the Metatron's cube, because in the blueprint of the universe, you're meant to be someone who brings peace to other people. That's where you come in terms of your meaning and purpose in life. And that may have been a past life purpose. You may have brought peace to this new person I'm feeling. Okay, I keep coming back to this new person. This new person could also be yourself. There's a new person that you're becoming that's attracting different kinds of people, different kinds of energy, that you don't mesh with old energies. And this old person could not be romantic, as I sort of framed it in the beginning. It could be just old friendships, old family, old jobs, as I was kind of saying. I also wrote down Divine Comedy, Dante's Divine Comedy. I feel like it's an opposite to Inferno, Dante's Inferno, which is about hell. I also was thinking about Ovid's Metamorphoses, and I wrote Chekhov the seagull. So that's kind of a lot of things, but in terms of Chekhov the seagull, I won't get into so much about the seagull. I don't remember the plot that much, except it's about these, I think, 3 sisters or something, 3 women. I'm thinking now of, maybe this is why I'm led to this, Ibsen's Gun, in a play by Henrik Ibsen, which was a sort of a trope used by Chekhov. In Ibsen, a play by Henrik Ibsen, there's a gun that is not mentioned the whole play, and then at the end someone like grabs it and like takes it, and it's just supposed to be like a genius use of prop and the symbolic use of like well, in this case it's violence above the mantle that isn't accessed or, you know, interacted with, but is looming throughout the whole play. So I'm not saying, maybe there was something in the past with a Peace Like a River song where there was some looming violence or just looming negativity or looming darkness that you eventually had to not pick up a rifle, but you had to pick up that energy and like move away from it, actually. Okay, or somebody picked up that negative energy and maybe put it towards you, and you had to make choices. I got peace like a river, I got peace like a river, peace like a river, I got peace. I got peace like a river, I got peace like a river, peace like a river, I got peace. Definitely a country vibe. Thinking of pigs. You know, they use pigs in a lot of operations for like heart cells, for example, because they're similar cells to humans. There may be someone here who's gone through like a heart operation or like just a physical operation that involved like genes from other animals, or even I think fish too, like they use, but or just, you know, this could also be about somebody here who is transgender, or somebody here who, you know, forget that, if that doesn't, you know, take what you like and leave the rest. Take what resonates. Somebody here who feels like they're changing to the degree that their body is different. Peace like a river. I just wonder if with the pig also, is there just, it can be about loyalty, the pig, like a dog is. There's somebody here who's very loyal to you. There's somebody who cares. There's somebody who you don't think they care. I think it's this newer person, you don't think they care. And this could be relative newness. Like think of it how you want. Maybe the first person you knew from babyhood, the second person you've known since age 20, or it could be much more recent. It's up to you how you want to frame this. But this person, you had a breakup, and this person is going through that too. And I keep thinking, I feel that both people keep trying to make that work because they're not quitters. And also, you don't want this new person to think you just jump between people. But this is the Tower versus Bliss, actually, is that you feel like different with somebody that has come into your life. You feel like things have to break around you to create an environment for the lovers. And this is about choice as well, and the sign of Gemini. And, you know, I'm thinking of the painting by Gauguin called Who Are We? Where Do We Come From? Where Are We Going? It's a painting of a bunch of women in Tahiti standing around by a river. And it's large, it's panoramic, so it's like as if we're in the scene. It's sort of lifelike. And it's sort of similar to Afternoon at La Grande Jatte by Seurat, or La Grande Jatte. I won't, by Seurat, but I won't. It's just a similar setup where it's like a scene and it's large. But anyway, the Gauguin painting, it relates to the lovers because this newer person in your life, they make you feel that like stark vulnerability where you're like, who am I? Where am I going? What am I doing with my life? Because because you feel like a blissful feeling with them that is not similar to other experiences. So it's sort of like things around you both have to change and break away and fall away for any possibility of this new thing to happen. Anyway, that's the reading. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you have a great day. If you're interested in getting a reading, I do personal readings, and I'll put my email below.